Hey guys, welcome back. So last video we talked about what dating looks like for me online and what I've come across. I said what we would talk about today is what breakups are like since I'm married. How does my wife deal with them? Like, how does she, because it's not typical. Usually breakups are, your boyfriend or girlfriend leaves. It's not like you're already in a relationship and this other relationship ends and your primary partner or whatever the setup is has to like console you. And what does that look like? And does it take any weight on the relationship? Things like that. So today we're going to do something a little bit differently. I've invited my wife to participate and get her side of the story and like what she thinks and how she feels and what it's like for her as well to deal with me when I'm broken up with. So, Molly.
Hi. Hello.
So this is my wife, the person I keep talking about. She exists. I don't just say I have a wife. I really do. So we've been together for almost 9 years, dating 9 years. Mm-hmm. We've been married we're going on 2 years this September, and we've been polyamorous for almost 3 years. Yeah, maybe going on 4 years now.
That's about right.
So the first year was me dating on my own, and then I didn't really have like relationships. I tried to have relationships, but it's primarily me just kind of dating. So, there was definitely times where I was sad that something didn't work out. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there was a lot of like relationships that I was hopeful for, and they just didn't happen. So
sorry, I'm start over. My hair. Okay.
So there was a lot of relationships in which I was hopeful for, but they didn't end up they didn't get to the next level. So it wasn't really a breakup, it just didn't work out. Second year that we dated, not when we dated, but we dated as a couple with other couples our second year. And so not that we were girlfriend and boyfriends with whatever couples we were with, it still hurt, if like you get feelings, both of us get feelings for that other couple that we're dating. It can be, it was tough. It's kind of like, why is things happening the way they are, or like why, just the usual, but 4 people instead of just 2 or 3 or whatever. So third year, kind of up to now, we've been dating separately. She has her own partners and I have my own partners. So we're like involved in each other's relationships in the sense of like friends. Like we're friends with each other's partners, or at least try to be. But we're not like physical or intimate with our partners. I don't get to be with her partners and she doesn't get to be with my partners, and it's not like I get to, it's just it works better for us.
It's too convoluted and it gets messy, I think.
Yeah, it's
that way.
It doesn't work for us
to
date together with other people, because we get competitive, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. Jealousy flares.
Yeah, and you don't want jealousy between you and your partner at all. That's just not fun. Yeah. So let's get back on track, and we're talking about breakups. And so I've been broken up with a few times in the last year and a half, 2 years. And some of them were harder than others. And do you want to like kind of explain like, what it's like for you as my partner to see me hurting, and like what you do or how you feel, like what kind of tell people what it's like as my primary partner, as my wife, seeing your wife brokenhearted or sad
Well-
about it or another relationship?
Definitely, it's not fun. Obviously, I feel for Carly if that happens, and it can actually be a bit draining on yourself to go through something, to watch your partner go through something like that. So I think for me, it's important to make sure my well-being is in check before I can comfort her or offer her support, if that makes sense. Like, take care of yourself before you're able to take care of others.
Kind of like being on a plane. If the plane's crashing,
Yeah.
you should put your mask on
Your
first.
emotional well-being should be kind of held at a little bit of a priority. And I don't want to sound selfish or like a shitty partner when I say that, but I think it's important to focus on your needs as well as others and your partners. Yeah.
Well, if you're upset about something or you're depressed, you can't really like help others necessarily because you're, upset and you're focused on what's upsetting you. And so when you're trying to help another person, you see you're kind of foggy as to like, what do I do, and do I have the capability right now, the emotional well-being in order to do so. So when I get broken up with, do you feel sad that I'm upset about somebody else?
Honestly, no, not anymore. I think at first, yes, but no, I actually genuinely feel a little bit heartbroken myself that she lost somebody she cares so deeply for in that way. I root for you and your other relationships. Of course I want it to be like mutual, and I would like them to be long term as well and meaningful if that's what you want out of them. There's elements of jealousy, I guess, periodically, but it's not to the point where it's like I feel like I'm less than. How do you feel when something like that happens, if I get broken up with, which has happened,
It's only really happened like once.
Well, I mean, when we dating separately, but yeah, how do you feel about that?
So I feel like the hardest part of like dealing with your partner being broken up with is you're sad for them, but for at least to me, it's how your partner copes that was the issue. How they cope with being broken up with. It wasn't, because we have different ways of like expressing our emotions. We have different ways of handling. Like I feel like I'm more of a communicative type of person who wants to talk about emotional health and well-being. And then Molly's more of a doer. She's kind of like, I gotta go get things done. I don't really have...
Talking about feelings is not my strong point.
Yeah.
I'll do it because if it's important, I will do it. But it definitely takes a lot of sometimes prying it out of me.
She does it because, 9 years later, you can't be with me unless you talk about your feelings. So, but like for me, when she got broken up with, it was sad. I mean, I feel bad for her because this was her first attempt this was her first relationship outside of ours. That was an actual, girlfriend relationship. So I felt bad that, she got hurt on the first, and it was like she got really like not lucky, but like she went in and she found a girlfriend, not found him, like, hey, like I was looking for you, but
I mean,
but like
timing is a thing too.
It is.
I think it just, it's like,
I felt bitter because I had been dating for like 2 years or so, like one of them together but one of them separately, and I think I was bitter that like it took me so long to catch somebody and then to have like a real relationship, and she did it like right out the gate almost, it felt like. you know. But then like she got broken up with, and I was actually really sad about it because like she got something really great and then it was like taken from her.
But then, you know, things are there's situational timing, and sometimes things just don't work out.
Yeah.
Based on that or whatever else, I don't know, whatever underlying things, but
and
yeah, it is what it is.
The thing about breakups too is like it wasn't because, you know, some of the relationships, it's not because you and that person aren't compatible. It's just that, like, as you said, timing. There's there's an event in someone's life in which they can't really put time into you. And it's not because they don't care about you, but because, you know, mental health, work, there's something else that is casting a bigger shadow in their life, and they feel like sometimes they have to sever you because they don't want to drag you through this dark, gloomy period of their life, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, it's breakups are sad. I guess there are good breakups out there where people are like, it was fun, but like, let's be friends. I haven't really witnessed that too much.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do we, or do you in particular, ever like, do you ever cut anybody off who you've ended things with? Is that your style of coping with things, or is that, you know, I'm sure people are curious.
It takes me time to be able to see the person I'm dating in another light, because for me, I haven't really had a lot of relationships start out as friends and then blossom into a relationship. It's usually like I'm out online dating, which most of us do, so we're just going out seeking a relationship, and then you get the relationship and then it ends, and so you didn't really have a friendship to start with. Yeah. So to me, like, I came in with the idea of having an attraction, having like love for them and not a friendship. So for me, it takes me longer to switch gears, I guess, and see them as not somebody that I want to be intimate with, somebody that like my heart aches for in a romantic matter. So it does take time. I feel like, you know, I don't have a lot of exes that I'm friends with, but
I mean, I don't think that, well, from what I know, we don't necessarily like cut people out, but it's more of a matter of like
they kind of die out sort of over time. I feel like
there are a couple of people who I just like, never mind. Rewind. No, I don't think we never really cut people out necessarily. It's just a matter of yeah, like you said, sometimes things die out. We get busy. I don't know. I would never really cut anyone out of my life if they reached out or anything, but I mean, you can't just like hold up your whole life in the hope for that. So you have to move forward and continue on and do, you know, find new things to enjoy and new people.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, if I have a good relationship with somebody, I need my space and my time if we break up to like change my position, and even then, like, my position hasn't really changed. I still care about these people and I still, you know, have love for them. And I guess at some point we're always still hopeful of like rekindling things that were great. But, you know, I don't want to lose a good friendship either. So sometimes you have to like brush those feelings under the rug and kind of like work through them over time, but, you know, keep building what you didn't have before, which is a friendship. Let me know if you want to see this pretty face again and hear what she has to say. Also, feel free, as always, to follow me on Instagram at Tempting Seitan. I also have a Twitter. I also have a TikTok. I also have pretty much everything. So you can find me on pretty much every platform. And at this point, I don't really have anything planned out for next week's video, but feel free to let me know if there's something you want to know or have a question about. All right, so I guess I will see you guys next week. Bye.